Hey there, it's Walt. I want to talk with you a little bit about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an extraordinary place for business development, and yet so many people avoid it, either because they're afraid of it, or they think about it as another social media platform, or they've had a bad experience with it. And so I want to give you some high-level concepts about LinkedIn and about how to envision LinkedIn so that you can approach it resourcefully and use it to your advantage. So first of all, suspend disbelief with me for a moment. Drop the idea that LinkedIn is social media. Oh, sure, it's a social media platform, but it's very different from the other social media platforms. It's where a lot of our client avatars, our ideal client avatars as business professionals, hang out. They congregate there. So I want to invite you to begin to think about LinkedIn as a networking event, like an old-fashioned Chamber of Commerce event, or BNI, or meetup group, or some even professional association networking function. It's a networking event that's going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's this global networking event that is always happening. And you can attend it anytime you want to. And you don't actually have to have bad Chardonnay or dried out hors d'oeuvres or get in a car to go. You can do it in your jammies. It's always going on and you can always take advantage of it. So if you were going to an old school networking event, you would walk into the room and you'd get your bad Chardonnay and your dried out hors d'oeuvres, and there would be groups of people around having conversations. What would you do? You'd go over and join one of those conversations, and you would get engaged in that, and maybe you'd spend a little bit of time there, and then you might go to another group of people, or maybe you see someone across the room who's standing by herself or himself, and you go over and you introduce yourself. So I want to invite you to think about LinkedIn as this networking event. And when you go into the room, into the networking event, there are conversations that are happening. So you go down the feed and there are posts and people who are interacting with the posts. They're commenting on their posts. There are things that are going on. There's a conversation that's happening. And so you can stop by in that group and begin to engage. Maybe you like what the person shared, and so you click like. Maybe somebody in the thread said something that was interesting and you like that, or perhaps you comment about it, or perhaps you give a response or a comment to the thing that has been shared by the person who started the conversation. And so you engage in that thread as if it were a conversation that was happening at a networking event. And in that group of people, there may be people that you know, and you can interact with those people. There may be people that you don't yet know. And you might want to make a note of those people and go and check them out so that maybe you can have conversations with those people as well. So the first thing you can do at this networking event, without your bad Chardonnay and dried out hors d'oeuvres, is that you can engage in conversations that are happening there. Now, just like an old school networking event, there are people that you don't know out there. Maybe you're going down through the thread and you see some interesting people that you've never met before. Maybe in your notifications, there's a suggestion for somebody that you haven't connected with before. So you go over and you introduce yourself and you connect with that person. You invite that person into relationship with you. Here's what doesn't work. You don't want to just connect with people and forget about it. You You actually want to connect with people and find out about them. You want to go look at their profile. Perhaps you want to go look at their website. Perhaps you want to go and see what other things they've posted and begin to interact, to have conversations with them, to get to know them. And then, just like an old school networking event, there's the opportunity to get in front of the room. So sometimes at a chamber of commerce, we as professionals might show up and be the presenter, show up and give a lunch and learn, give a little bit of a talk, a seminar, a workshop. We can stand in front of this networking room as well. We can write an article. We can post something. Even better, we can engage in video and speak in front of the room. And when we speak or when we write in front of a real room, IRL, in real life, we're seen as leaders. We're seen as people who know something. We're seen as experts. So we have the opportunity to stand in front of the room and to share our expertise with the room. And so those three activities of interacting with groups that are already happening, of introducing ourselves and forging new relationships in the room, and standing in front of the room, those three activities exist in the LinkedIn networking event that's happening all of the time. So rather than thinking about it as social media, think about it as this amazing opportunity to network and to get to know other people and to enlarge your reach. Because remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. People do business based upon relationship. The rules of relationship are not suspended in the virtual world. And so we have the opportunity to expand our reach exponentially if we show up in this place. And the opportunities, as I said at the outset, are extraordinary. We have, over the last decade, have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of income as a result of simply networking in the LinkedIn environment. So I want to encourage you to go into that environment and to share your wisdom, to share your expertise, and to build relationships. The return on your investment of time there will be exponential. All right, go out and do it. More later. Bye for now.